In the late 13th century, Anatolia was a land of chaos. The great Seljuk Empire had crumbled. The Mongols had swept through like a storm, leaving nothing but ruins behind. Dozens of small Turkish beyliks were fighting for survival in the wreckage. But one of these beyliks was different. Led by a man named Osman, this small tribal group settled near the Byzantine frontier in the hills of Söğüt. Osman was not the most powerful leader, he was not the wealthiest, but Osman had something no one else possessed: a vision. He wanted to build something that would last forever. Through military raids, strategic alliances, and remarkable tolerance for all backgrounds, Muslims, Christians, and nomads alike, Osman expanded his state. In 1326, his forces captured Bursa, the first true Ottoman capital. Osman never saw it, but his son Orhan would carry the dream forward. Under Orhan, the Ottoman state transformed into a sophisticated military machine. A new elite force was created, the Janissaries, trained to become the most feared soldiers in the world. In 1352, the Ottomans crossed into Europe for the first time. Once they crossed that narrow strip of water, they never truly left. Bulgaria, Serbia, Macedonia. One by one, the kingdoms of Europe crumbled, but disaster struck from the east. In 1402, Tamerlane swept into Anatolia with an army so vast, it darkened the horizon. At the Battle of Ankara, Sultan Bayezid I was captured and died in captivity. The empire nearly ceased to exist, but it survived. In 1451, a young sultan came to power. He was 19 years old. His advisors underestimated him. His enemies laughed at him. His name was Mehmed II, and he was about to do something no one had done in 1,000 years. Constantinople, protected by massive walls, surrounded by water, had never fallen. Dozens of armies had tried. All had failed. Mehmed built the largest cannons the world had ever seen. On April 6, 1453, he launched his assault. The siege lasted 53 days. On May 29th, the walls broke. The Roman Empire, lasting over 2,000 years, was gone forever. Mehmed was 21 years old. The world would never be the same. The Golden Age followed. Under Selim I, the empire doubled in size in just 8 years. He conquered Egypt and took control of Mecca and Medina, making the Ottoman Sultan the caliph of the entire Islamic world. Then came Suleiman the Magnificent.
Indeed.
Under his 46-year reign, the empire stretched from Vienna to the Persian Gulf, from Crimea to North Africa. It controlled 15 million square kilometers and a third of the world's GDP. It was, by any measure, the most powerful state on earth. But the seeds of decline were already planted. Empires do not fall overnight. After Suleiman, weak sultans preferred palace luxury over leadership. The Janissaries, once the empire's greatest strength, became its greatest threat. Europe surged ahead with the scientific and industrial revolutions while the Ottomans fell behind. Defeat followed defeat. The failed siege of Vienna in 1683 marked the furthest they would ever reach into Europe. By the 19th century, the empire had earned a devastating nickname, the sick man of Europe. In 1908, the Young Turks seized power, promising salvation. Instead came war. The Ottoman Empire joined World War I alongside Germany, a gamble that failed catastrophically. Millions died. The Armenian genocide unfolded within the chaos. When the war ended in 1918, Allied powers carved the empire apart. Foreign troops occupied Istanbul for the first time in history. But from the ruins, something unexpected emerged. A military commander named Mustafa Kemal refused to accept defeat. He launched the Turkish War of Independence against Greek, Armenian, French, and Italian forces. Against all odds, he won. On November 1st, 1922, the Ottoman Sultanate was abolished, ending 623 years of rule. On October 29th, 1923, the Republic of Turkey was proclaimed. Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, father of the Turks, became its first president. 600 years, 36 sultans, 3 continents, one empire that began with a single man, one tent, and one dream in the mountains of Anatolia. The Ottoman Empire was gone, but its shadow still falls across the world today.